What is up, guys? Jarv here, back today jumping into Destiny. We are back with another This Week in Destiny, giving you all the heads up on everything that you can expect for the up-and-coming week. This week is week 6 of Season of the Seraph. We have part 3 of the Should You Choose to Accept It exotic quest, as well as the continuation of the More Than a Weapon seasonal quest. On top of that, we have a full breakdown of everything to expect this week, all the challenges, and more importantly, what tests is available for Bright Dust this week. So be sure to stick around and enjoy the video. If you do enjoy the video, be sure to leave a comment and rating down below, and remember to subscribe for more Destiny 2 content. Just over 60% of the viewers on the channel aren't currently subscribed, so make sure to hit that red button and ring that bell to ensure you don't miss an update. But without further delay, guys, let's jump into the video. Now, another week and another This Week in Destiny. This week is week 6 of Season of the Seraph, and we have the continuation of the Should You Choose to Accept It exotic quest. This is part 3 and will allow you to unlock additional traits for the Revision 0 exotic pulse rifle. This week, upon completing the quest, we'll be able to unlock the Outlaw as an intrinsic trait, on top of the Feeding Frenzy and Under Pressure, which should already be unlocked. So if you're looking to fully upgrade this exotic weapon, then make sure to jump into that this week to unlock those awesome intrinsic traits. Now, as well as that, we also have the continuation of the main seasonal quest called More Than a Weapon. This kicks off from step 46 this week and will take us up to the final week, which will be next week. So if you want to make sure that you're ready for the potential conclusion of the main story beat this season over the next few weeks, then be sure to be up to date going into the resets over the next few weeks. Now, from here, we're going to move on to the King's Fall Raid Challenge, and this rotates around to the Devious Thievery. Now, this takes place over in the War Priest encounter, and players must steal the brand of the Initiate within a couple of seconds of taking the brand claimer buff. Now, this challenge is rather tricky when it comes down to timing, and you'll need crystal clear communication for this challenge in order to pull this one off. But if you and your team can absolutely nail it, then there's an additional raid chest with Harrow loot available to you. So whether you're still farming out the weapons or deep sight resonance versions of them, or looking for additional pinnacle rewards, then make sure to jump into King's Fall this week to knock out the raid challenge. Now, moving on to the featured raid and dungeon content for week 6, and we jump back into the Last Wish raid. Now, this launched alongside Forsaken way back in Season of the Outlaw. Now, as the featured raid, all the challenges will be available, making it perfect for completing your Riven's Bane seal. And on top of that, you can also farm feral keys from Riven, which you can then choose to hand in after completing the Queen's Walk. This basically allows you to farm for the 1000 Voices exotic fusion rifle. So if that exotic is missing from your collection, then this week will be the perfect opportunity to farm that weapon out. Now, to go alongside the Last Wish raid, we also have the Shattered Throne. This also launched alongside Forsaken and was Destiny 2's first dungeon experience. Now, much like the Last Wish, if you can take out the final boss, which is Dol Inkaru, she will also offer a pinnacle reward. So once again, if you're still finding yourself on the power grind, and we are just a few weeks away from Grandmaster Nightfalls, then make sure to jump into these 2 pieces of featured content to knock out those pinnacle challenges. Now, next up, we're going to move on to Dares of Eternity in this 30th Anniversary Pack activity, and this has seen its loot pool being refreshed as part of Season of the Seraph. Now, we have 2 armor sets available this week. We have the Prefactor armor set, which is the original armor set from Season of the Chosen. So if you didn't partake in that season, this will be a perfect opportunity to fill out that transmog collection. And to go alongside that, we also have the Scatterhorn armor set way back from Forsaken. So as always, if you didn't partake in these 2 seasons and need to fill out your transmog collection, then these can drop during the activity when you complete it, or by handing in strange coins over at the Star Horse over in the Treasure Hoard. Now, to go alongside armor, we also see brand new weapons. This week we'll see the Scaiflock Auto Rifle, the Extraordinary Rendition SMG, the Brass Attacks Sidearm, the Threaded Needle, the Code Duello Rocket Launcher, the Imperial Needle Bow, the Far Future Sniper, the Honor's Edge Sword, the Distant Tumulus, the Interference, the Shepherd's Watch Sniper Rifle, and also the Annual Skate Hand Cannon. A lot of these weapons are also from Season of the Chosen, so once again, if you didn't partake in that season, or if you missed out on God Rolls when it was available, then this week would be the week to jump back into Dares of Eternity. Now, next up, we're going to move on to the weekly rituals, and we have a new Nightfall for week 6 of Season of the Seraph, and we see the Warden of Nothing enter rotation. This is the only surviving strike from the Tangled Shore, and will also form a Grandmaster Nightfall later in the season. Now, to go alongside the return of the Warden of Nothing, we also see the return of the Wendigo Grenade Launcher. This time, though, it has random rolls. So if you missed out on this as a ritual weapon, or you're looking to check out the new roles on it, then you'll be able to pick it up this week from the Warden of Nothing Nightfall. Now moving on to the Crucible, and we see Rift return as a Crucible Rotator. Now Rift is no longer the Iron Banner game mode for Season of the Seraph and finds itself featured for the up and coming week. So if you want to reminisce over last season's Iron Banner, then make sure to jump into Rift, which will also be offering a pinnacle reward. Now as for bonus ranks this week, this can be found over in the Gambit playlist. Now Gambit isn't always the most popular game mode when it comes to Destiny, so if you've been saving up your seasonal challenges or you're looking to knock out the ornament for the Velis X Pulse Rifle, then this week will be the week to jump into Gambit to get all those challenges done. Now from here we're going to move on to the Lost Sectors for week 6 of Season of the Seraph, and on Tuesday's weekly reset we'll be returning to the K1 Revelation. We'll be facing Barrier and Unstoppable champions for a chance at exotic gauntlets. As for Wednesday, it's the K1 Communion, with Barrier and Overload champions this time, giving you a chance at exotic chess pieces. As for Thursday, we'll be heading to Europa and the Bunker E15, with Barrier and Overloads as well, this time though offering exotic helmets. On Friday, we'll be heading to the Concealed Void, also with Barrier and Overloads as well, however this time offering exotic boots. On Saturday, Perdition is in rotation, also with Barrier and Overload champions, giving you a second chance at those exotic gauntlets. As for Sunday, we'll be heading to Sepulture on Savathun's Throne World, facing Barrier and Unstoppable champions, with a second chance at exotic chess pieces. And we round out the week with Extraction, facing Overload and Unstoppable champions, once again offering up exotic helmets. So as always, if there's a particular exotic that you're chasing, then be sure to plan your week accordingly. And if you want to check out this calendar for yourself, then make sure to do so over in Today in Destiny, and I'll leave the link to that down in the video description below. Now next up, we're going to move on to seasonal challenges, and once again there are just 7 seasonal challenges for week 6 of Season of the Seraph. 3 are classified. So the first one we can see is called CQC Loadout, and here you need to defeat targets with glaives and get bonus progress for defeating guardians, and that's alongside defeating combatants in heist battlegrounds with melee final blows. Next up we have Apex Armorer, and here you need to masterwork a piece of armor, and that's alongside Absolutely Stunning, and this is where we need to stun 50 champions. And the final challenge for this week is called Crucible Ornament, and for this we need to acquire the ornament for the Velis X Pulse Rifle. So if you didn't earn that during the Iron Banner week, you'll need to jump back into Crucible to knock out that seasonal challenge. Now all these challenges offer Challenger XP, some of them offer Bright Dust, which brings us nicely onto the final section of today's video, and that's what Test has available for Bright Dust in week 6 of Season of the Seraph. Now over in the featured Bright Dust shelf we have an exotic emote called Rising Dawn. This is also from Season of the Chosen, so if you missed out on this absolutely fire emote, then be sure to pick it up for 3,250 Bright Dust. That's alongside a legendary emote called Brilliant Idea, so if you missed out on this one last season, it will be available for 700 Bright Dust this week. Next up we have Harpy Entrance, a legendary transmat effect, so once again if you're collecting and missed out on this one, this will cost you 450 Bright Dust. Now as for the shader this week, we have a legendary shader called Royal Treatment. This is from Season of the Risen and looks absolutely awesome here on my Warlock, so if you missed out on this as well and fancy picking it up, this will set you back 300 Bright Dust this week. Now over in the main Bright Dust store we have another exotic emote called Glaive Mistake, and was once available for 1,000 silver, so if you missed out on it you can pick it up this week for 3,250 Bright Dust. That's alongside another legendary emote called Couch Nap and will set you back 700 Bright Dust this week. Next up we have a exotic ship called Trustworked Clipper and will set you back 2,000 Bright Dust this week. Now next up we have legendary armor ornaments, and these are for the brand new Arc 3.0 armor set for Season 19. This week sees the Gauntlet in rotation, so for the Warlock you have the Arc Light Gloves, for your Titans you have the Thunderous Impact Gauntlets, and for your Hunter you have the Dynamo Current Grips. Each piece will set you back 1,200 Bright Dust this week. Now alongside those legendary ornaments, we also have exotic armor ornaments for each class. For the Warlock this week we have the Ley Striders, which is an ornament for the Lunafaction boots. For your Titan you have the Belenus Boosters, which is an ornament for your Lion Rampants. And for your Hunters you have the Retreads, which is an interesting ornament for your Stompy's boots. Each one will set you back 1,500 Bright Dust apiece. As for the penultimate item this week, it's the Infinity Door Ghost Projection. This is from Season of the Splicer and will set you back 1,500 Bright Dust this week. And the final item on offer this week is the Homesteader, which is an exotic weapon ornament for the Xenophage. So if you fancy picking this up, I want to save yourself 700 silver. This will set you back 1250 bright dust this week. So there we have it, guys, a good look on everything that you can expect for week 6 of Season of the Seraph. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to check out one of the 2 videos you see here in these cards for more Destiny 2 content. And if you want to keep up to date with everything to do with Destiny 2, then be sure to hit subscribe as well. I'm going to jump back into the game as always, guys, and I will catch you all again very soon.